and we have our second battle of the video, and it is against a mod of mine on Twitch. It is Moustache, and as usual, you'll see his. I almost said his click to link in the description, but that would have been full on butchering it. His link to his Twitter account in the description, so you guys can go check him out. So this is SLOWSLOW, TAPU, Coco, Landorus, Therian, Dog Trio, the viney Japanese hentai monster that I can't remember its name, Tangrowth, got there in the end, Tangrowth, right, and Toxapex. So looking at it, he's got two things which to ground, he's got two things which to fire also. Ground doesn't help me very much, I've got no ground moves, but it was just worth pointing out. I mean, his only switch into a Psychic is the SLOWSLOW, and even a Spec Psychic in Psychic Terrain, it's still going to do a lot of damage, so that getting into that position could be nice. We've got a few flying types that we can utilise to hopefully be able to switch in on the Dog Trio to prevent an arena trap. But we'll see how it goes. Does he have a defog/spinner? I don't know. Does Toxapex get spin? I don't think it does, you know. I don't think it does. But I could see him potentially leading off with the Dog Trio. So I'm going to lead with Quagsire, because that also gives me a nice matchup against, I didn't even get to hit enter. Didn't get to hit enter. You know what, it doesn't matter. It does matter. We're good to go. We are good to go. Moo running about with that pretty purple top of his. And as we saw previously, depending on whether... Oh, I might have actually cut it out so you couldn't see the leads. But, you know, as we saw previously, well, as I saw previously at least, it was Quagsire versus Landorus. And I have decided to pick the other Pokemon this time. I'm just a Muppet. So, are we going to see a U-turn from this thing? Quite possibly. I don't see him wanting to go for... I don't see him wanting to stay in. We could Ice Beam. What could he want to switch into? Potentially Toxapex, but although he's saying that, he is weak to the ground moves. But which Quagsire doesn't actually have. But I think I'm just going to stay in. I'm just going to go for the Scald. We've got that opportunity to get a burn. He's going to go for the U-turn. Quite predictable, to be fair. And it's going to do a rather average amount of damage. We don't really... It doesn't reveal much to us. We know he's not... we know he's not Life Orbed. We know he's not Banded, so he could potentially be Scarfed. Could be lefties. He's going to go to the Toxapex now. I would very much accept a burn on this Toxapex. I'd be very happy with that, just to limit its recovery. We don't get one, unfortunately, but it's not the end of the world. And we probably are going to see some Toxic Spikes go up, or maybe him just lob out a Toxic. And I don't really want, I don't really want Quagsire out here being poisoned, so we're going to switch out. We could go out to Nihilego and set up a Stealth Rock on it. I really don't have much for Toxapex, actually. I've got Tapu Lele, which I could go into, but I feel like there's not a lot of point in me going directly into Tapu Lele, because he might predict that. So, I would be quite happy just to set up my Rocks, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. I mean, looking at what else he's got on his team, Rocks is just going to... I mean, he doesn't have anything weak to Rocks, but it's just, you know, 12% damage, and every single time he switches. I would very much enjoy that. So, we're going to go out into Nihilego. See what situation that puts us in. Obviously, he could just go for a Scald, but I don't see Scald doing much. Liquidation might do a bit of damage to us. We are going to see the Toxic Spikes, which is fine, because all I've got to do is switch out of Toxapex and bring it back in again. And the Toxic Spikes are gone. We do see the lefties... Sorry, we do see the Black Sludge. I apologise to all you poison types out there. We do see the Black Sludge on the Toxapex, so we know it's not going to be running like Figgy Berry or Citrus Berry or anything of that sort of nature. And we are going to get an opportunity to set up our Rocks, which I'm going to be very happy with. I'm a little bit annoyed with Toxapex being out, because, like I said before, we don't have much for it. I'm going to have to try and snatch a Psychic off onto it with Lele, which would one-shot it with the Psychic Terrain up. But in all honesty, he doesn't have much that we can... he doesn't have much that he can switch into Lele. Apart from the SLOWSLOW, as we established in the first team preview. Oh, I still can't get over that. But I mean, Nihilego has access to Thunderbolt, so he could be thinking that, and it could go out into one of his ground types. Actually, if he did go into Dog Trio, that would be quite scary. He's going to bring in the Landorus. Now, I don't know about you, but I do not want Nihilego losing its Focus Sash. So I'm not going to stay in. I'm not going to stay in. There goes the rocks. He's probably just in a U-turn. I would fully expect him to U-turn. I'm quite tempted to bring in Sizzle, though. I could bring in Charizard. Or I bring Quagsire back in. No, I think I'm just going to bring in Sizzle. Sizzle has access to the U-turn, which is going to be nice. It gives us some switch initiative as well, depending on what he goes into. And he's actually going to set up his own Stealth Rock, which is a bit annoying because I don't have a Defogger and I don't have a Spinner. But I do have a Charizard, but, you know, Zard does have Roost, so it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm going to hit U-turn because he's going to switch out. Saying that, he doesn't really need to switch out because Sizzle doesn't get anything to hurt Landorus, but at least it gives us some initiative because he is going to go first. And the fact that he's got Rocks obviously does mean that he's not Scarfed, so he's not Assault Vest either, so I would expect him to be lefties, and this would reveal it. So we're actually going to see him go for the U-turn. And that's going to do 0 damage to Sizzle, which I'm happy about. I'm very happy about that. What are you going to go into? Maybe the Toxapex again? In comes the Toxapex. He's going to take some damage. See, at this stage, I either bring in my own Toxapex. Sorry, not my own Toxapex. My own Poison type, Nihilego, absorb the Toxic Spikes. Or I go out into Lele now and hit something with a Spec Psychic that is going to do a shitload of damage. I think I'm going to go with the Spec Psychic. Fortunately, we're not badly poisoned, which means we are only going to be taking that amount of damage each... Sorry, not even that amount of damage. We're only taking sort of like 1/8 damage each turn, as opposed to it increasing. So I am just going to click Psychic. Oh, we took poison damage as well. Ugh, it's a bit annoying. That's actually quite a bit of damage. I take it back, I'd rather the toxic damage. Doesn't matter, we're going to click Psychic. We're going to click Psychic. I can't really afford to lose Lele. Without the Toxapex going down, but there's no way he's keeping Toxapex in. No way. There is no way he's going to want to keep it in, because Toxapex kind of shuts down my entire team, but Lele, like I've said. But this is going to force him to bring in the Celesteela. And Celesteela's not going to like taking this hit. It's just not. Because this is going to do so much damage to anything that he wants to bring in. So I would be interested to see what he does. I mean, he could bring in Dugtrio if it's sat. No, he can't because I've got rocks up. Take it back. I would be thoroughly interested to see what he's going to do. I'll say that much. Thoroughly interested. I would love him to stay in. If he stays in, that would be incredible. He's not going to stay in. He's going to go out into the Tangrowth, which Tangrowth's special defense is not that great. That's going to break a potential Sash. Not that I would expect him to run Sash. And I think that is probably Tangrowth. That is definitely Assault Vested. There is no way that should have eaten that up that well. That was incredible. That has to be Assault Vest. Are we going to see a... are we going to see a potential Leech Seed maybe, or a Sleep Powder? I'm going to bring in Nihilego. That's going to let us absorb the Stealth Rocks, which first of all is amazing. I also think a Sludge Wave will take it out because it is super effective, and he's got a few things that can switch on a Sludge Wave, I lie. But we can get a Power Gem though. And Power Gem, you know, if Nihilego does have a very tasty sort of 130-ish, around that range of a special attack. We're going to see, yeah, right, Lele's going out, bringing in Nihilego. And I'm just hoping it's a special variant and not a physical variant of Tangrowth. He's going to switch out the Tangrowth and bring in Dugtrio. So he's actually played that brilliantly well. And Dugtrio outspeeds, and we're kind of fucked. Nihilego is kind of fucked at this point. It's actually a spot-on play. Do we get... I guess we have to Dazzling Gleam. There's the Earthquake. Nihilego's not living like that. That's a brilliant play from Moustache, to be fair. And maybe I need to play a little bit less predictably. You know, he took the risk, and it's clearly paid off. I'm going to bring in Honchkrow at this stage. And I could set up a sub. I would expect him to bring in Celesteela though, which kind of worries me. I mean, I'm hoping this dojo is... What could he do? Maybe this was a bad idea. I'm just looking for Brave Bird. If he goes for Rock Slide, then he goes for Rock Slide. It's just more useful information for me at the end of the day. He's going to switch out and bring in the Landorus. Oh, this is going to be one bulky ass Landorus as well. I can feel the bulk emanating from it. Especially with Intimidate, I don't see this doing much damage at all. And actually, I think he'll probably just U-turn. Yeah, it's not much damage at all. So like I say, predicting the U-turn, I am going to go for a... Oh, is he just going to go for the rock move? It's so much recoil damage because of the rocky helmet as well. Is he just going to U-turn out? Is he going to U-turn? Is he going to rock slide? We'll roost. We'll risk it. We've gone for the roost, and I didn't actually think we'd outspeed it. So if he has gone for the U-turn, that's really, really bad. Well, we lived. We're not switching out anytime soon, though, and he can bring in something with priority now and pretty much screw us over, because it would force me into going for a Sucker Punch to be able to do actually anything. Because I'm not going to be able to roost. I've clearly not played that well, and I actually think he's going to set up a sub with this thing. I don't know why. Something tells me this thing has sub, and I don't want to mess around with it. Do I just bring in Charizard? Roost is so predictable. I would rather him not set up a substitute. But at the end, wait, Honchkrow's going to be faster. Matt, you've got to sort this out. But then, the Heavy Slam's going to knock us out. You're going to go for a substitute, aren't you? I mean, we're going to get a free switching into the Charizard. So, he's gone for the auto... Ooh, this is threatening. This is quite threatening, because it does have access to C-Bomb as well. And the fact that it becomes nimble means he doesn't have a steel move. So, it could be safe going into Lele, but Lele... I mean, Lele, it does have Thunderbolt. I guess we have to Lele. I mean, there's nothing else I can do. Well, alright, we'll just Thunderbolt. I mean, I can Psychic and try and do as much damage as possible. You know what, you might actually predict me to go for Thunderbolt and go into... say the Lander, so maybe Psychic's the better option. Although he's going to outspeed us and hits with an attack, which isn't going to be a deal. No, I think we will stay in. Earthquake. Do we live that? I don't know. Because this isn't like a built team. It's not. Nothing is EV to live certain hits or anything. So I don't know what I can live and what I can't live. But that's going to be the Celesteela down, and unfortunately, it's probably going to be Lele down. It's also the reason why I've not got a spinner on a team with Zard Y. Just so you're understanding of that. It's not just some crucial team building error. I mean, it is a team building error, but it's just because I've not designed the team in any sense. In comes the Coco. He's just going to Volt Switch. There's no point in me switching out, because like I said, I don't have a spinner. So there's nothing else Lele can really do at this stage. And I don't have a setup sweeper, do I? No, I would have to probably bring in Sizzle and hope the Bullet Punch is enough. We'll go for the Thunderbolt. He's going to Volt Switch, so we are going to get some form of Switch Initiative. Unless he chooses not to Volt Switch, of course, but I would find that incredibly difficult to believe. I mean, surely you're going to Volt Switch. Surely. Surely. Okay, U-turn. Okay, well, it's a physical variant. Interesting. It's not something you see every day. Tapu Koko's physical attack is a hell of a lot higher than its special attack, so a Wild Charge is going to be doing a lot more damage than any Thunderbolt would do. Oh, the thing is, Coco does have access to Grass Knot, so maybe it's mixed. Maybe it's mixed, and if he is running Grass Knot, then the Coco will probably end up winning in the game. The Dugtrio is going to come in, and I could see it being banded. I could see it being banded. We're going to bring in Quagsire, and we're going to go for Scald. And Scald is going to probably knock it out, but there's nothing Quagsire can really do to Swagsire out here, so I just say there's nothing Quagsire can do to Swagsire. There's nothing Dugtrio can do to Swagsire. I think Scald is probably my most obvious, and probably my best play at this stage. You know, we can get burns. He's just going to stay in, going to go for an Earthquake. It's not going to do a hell of a lot of damage, because Dugtrio's... okay, did a lot more damage than I expected. Just out of question, you guys. When you're building a Quagsire, do you prefer to go more on the physical defense or more on the special defense? Because I feel like this Quagsire, it's got a bit of both, but I feel like it's just not living as much as it should be living. So maybe, you know, maybe most Quagsire do run max HP, max defense. I'm not too sure. But at this stage, I can just click recover, and we should live another Earthquake. And hopefully it dies to the burn. If I don't live another Earthquake, then I've seriously miscalculated this. We do live it on the 2 HP, and recover is going to activate. Well, not activate. We are going to use recover and get a little bit of HP back, as well as Lefty's recovery. And as I've said before, I think this Dugtrio is probably banded, so I can just switch out if it were to live, but it's not going to live. It is going to go down to the burn, and we can level this game up a little bit more. But my opponent, I would say, is still firmly in the driving seat with that Tapu Koko still around. And of course the Tangrowth is here as well. Regenerator has let it heal up a little bit, and I'm not going to keep Quagsire in there. There's absolutely no reason to. It's ridiculous for me to keep it in. So I'm just going to bring in Sizzle. I'm going to probably end up going for a U-turn if I'm going to be completely honest. Because U-turn would knock out Tangrowth. I would think a banded U-turn from an Adamant Scizor. Surely that's a knockout. It would give me switch initiative as well. If he went into the Landorus, I could then bring in... oh, he's going to switch into Toxapex. I mean, it's a bit annoying. And obviously he's going to go for the Toxic Spikes. I'm well aware he's going to go for Toxic Spikes because he needs to get rid of my Quagsire, and that is going to be the way he's going to be able to get rid of it. And obviously I've lost Nihilego down to that Dugtrio. So the Toxic Spikes will be here to stay. Do I U-turn? I guess I do use U-turn at this stage. There's not a lot of point in me going for a direct switch, is there? I mean, Aerial Ace and Pursuit aren't going to do anything. We'll go for the U-turn. We'll see how much we can do. It is a resisted hit. It's going to do pretty much nothing. And I think I have to bring in Charizard. I mean, Scald isn't going to do anything. Ice Beam's not going to do anything. Sizzle can't touch it. And in the end, Toxapex is probably going to end up stalling up the game. And if that is the case, then... oh, he's just gone for Scald. Oh, crap. Well then. I am going to sit here, I'm going to set up the sun, I'm going to go for a Roost, because this means that, obviously, you know, the sun is going to decrease the power of the Scald, we're going to get a bit of healing. But I think that's probably the game. I can't knock out the Toxapex, I don't think. I mean, I possibly can, but with Charizard, but it's going to be... I would have to get extremely lucky. With flinches. I don't think I've played riskily enough in this game, personally. That is how I would critique myself. There wasn't enough plays where I thought, he's going to do this, let's take a risk. Maybe this team just doesn't synergize well enough. And that's why. We'll go for an Air Slash and see how much damage we can do. We do get flinch. And I would expect him to be running Protect, actually. So, you know, maybe we can predict the Protect. Maybe we can predict it and we'll go for a Roost. He's not going to go for Protect. Damn, that sucks. If he opts for Toxic, that would suck even more, to be honest. Oh, he's gone for a cover. Oh, I should have went for another Air Slash. Because realistically, once this sun goes down, Scalder's going to be doing drastically more damage. And I need probably 2 air slash flinches. Yeah. He's going to set up the first layer of toxic spikes. The one layer I'm fine with. It's when the second layer goes up that Quagstar is then going to be in some serious trouble. But at this stage in the game, I've just accidentally misclicked and clicked Solar Beam. Well, crap. Oh well. I wanted to air slash, but that is apparently not allowed to happen. That did actually do more than air slash, and we could potentially go for a Solar Beam next turn, depending on if the sun is still going to be up or not. We're not going to go for a Solar Beam next turn because the sun is now down. Well, doesn't that suck? Doesn't that suck? Air slash it is. Can he live an air slash? Potentially, but I don't think... I mean, if Toxic Spikes has recover, which I assume it does, saying that if he's running Toxic Spikes, it might not have... I meant Regenerator, sorry. Not recover. You know, maybe there's the chance that he doesn't have it, and he's just keeping it around for the sizzle. I don't know. We're going to get another air slash off, though, onto this Landorus, though. And how much is that going to do? Is it enough to knock it out? It is enough to knock it out, and Charizard is going to have to try and come through for us. It's such a shame that I don't have a spinner. Because, mate, if I could get rid of these rocks, I would be in such a better position. The Coco's going to come in. I'm actually going to predict him to go for a U-turn. He might have Volt Switch and U-turn. If that is the case, then that really sucks. But at this stage, maybe I do switch out, because then I can just get the sun back up, can't I? We'll bring in Quagsire. We'll bring in Quagsire. Let's do it. We'll bring it in. Does he have the Volt Switch and the U-turn? We are poisoned, unfortunately. He does just go for the Thunderbolt, so we do make the correct play. I don't remember what this Tapu Koko was holding, though. So I could go for a... Thing is, right, in this situation, I could go for a recover. Or I could switch out back into Charizard, predicting either a U-turn or a switch out into... If he's got U-turn, that means he's mixed. So he's probably got Volt Switch as well. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe he's got Thunderbolt, U-turn, maybe Dazzling Gleam and Grass Knot. I mean, this would tell us if he has Grass Knot, to be fair. It would tell us. I kind of just want to bring Charizard back in, though. Because I've been playing so safe this game, he stayed in. What's he gone for? Has he gone for the U-turn? If he Thunderbolts, it's game over. If he Thunderbolts, it's game over. And this was potentially the one risk. He has gone for a U-turn. Okay, cool. So maybe this was potentially the one risk that I shouldn't have done. He's going to switch out, probably go out into the Toxapex and predict me to go for a recover. I think we live another Scald. I think we live one Scald. And honestly, I'm quite tempted to just go for a Flamethrower. I'm quite tempted. That is because... No, because he's going to have to keep his Sorry, he's going to have to keep his... No, because he's probably going to predict me to Roost, actually. Okay, he's going to have to keep his Tapu Koko around. But I think he might predict me just to go for a Roost. So Flamethrower might be my best play. It's certainly not my safest. But I could risk it. I could risk it. Because Air Slash and Solar Beam are my two things that are going to do damage to Toxapex. Roost, he knows I've got it, and he knows I'm probably going to want to use it. And he needs to keep his Toxapex around, ideally for my Sizzle. Well, and my Quagsire. I can't touch it. So let's risk it. Let's go for the Flamethrower. And that was not the right play. At all. That does actually quite a bit of damage. And we do get a burn. There is hope in this game. Can we live a Scald? There is still hope. There is definitely still hope. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to click Flamethrower again. Because he cannot... he can't switch into Koko. Because Koko is going to take a ridiculous amount of damage from a Flamethrower. I'm just going to stay in... Mate, Flamethrower did so much more than I expected to. I guess it's just a physically defensive Toxapex. Flamethrower going to connect on the Pex. And it's gone down. And this could be the comeback that we have been looking for. I can't remember what his last Pokemon is. He's got Tapu Koko and he's got... Did he still have the Tangrowth? In comes the Tapu Koko. I'm just going to Roost. He might go for a U-turn, to be fair. And at that range of HP, I wonder if a Bullet Punch is enough to take out a Tapu Koko. I'm not 100% sure. But it would be interesting to see. We'll go for the Roost. We outsped it. Maybe he's gone for Raw. I don't know. What's he gone for? He's gone for Hidden Power. Is that HP Rock? Must be HP Grass. It must be HP Grass. And if this thing is scarfed, or no, it's not scarfed. No, it's just slow. It's just really slow. Maybe it's modest. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. I have no idea. I can't remember what he's still got. But I'm going to stay in. I'm just going to go for the Flamethrower. I'm going to ask him what item this Koko has, because I'm quite intrigued. I am quite intrigued. We've gone for the Flamethrower. Just staying in. Charizard putting in so much work in this game, it is ridiculous. Come on. Come on. He stayed in! We're going to connect a Flamethrower, and can Charizard wrap up this game for us? The Koko is down. It is putting in so much work. What was his last one? I can't remember. I can't remember. I do not remember. And It's gonna be the Tangrowth. No, I'm gonna have to check out this Charizard's speed stats or something later, because I am confused. Both me and him don't understand why we're slower. Or sorry, why he was slower. I am very, very confused. Because you can't get Choice Scarfs flipping... Wait, it lived. Fair play. Flipper now. But that is going to be the game. Charizard has won us that game. I'm pretty sure that the shiny Koko is always timid as well. We'll look into it. We'll look into it. But thank you very much, Moo, for the game. What a game it was as well. If you want to be in next, if you want to be in next year, I keep wanting to say next year, in next week's viewer battle for YouTube, let me know on the Saturday, because we're going to be tweeting out around the evening time, and then we'll record the video. We've got links in the descriptions. You know, that's Moo's Twitter. The Koko has Zap Play, by the way. We've got Moo's Twitter, we've got my Twitter, we've got my Twitch, my Instagram, anything you could ever need, all in the description below. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.